Connecting. Okay. Good morning, members and friends of the Church of the Angels. The church is an independent, non-denominational, interfaith spiritualist assembly. My name is Reverend Jenni Vinecourt. I'm your facilitator today. Today we'll spend about an hour together. That's usually about how long we end up, about an hour, maybe a little longer, with prayer, sharing, and some song. You can join us today with just your audio if you choose. You don't have to use your video option because service is being recorded. So that we can help more folks connect up with us. So when your faces don't show up on the recording unless you are speaking, and then you do show up. So if you want to just use your audio, that's fine. I ask that everybody try to keep themselves muted for the majority of the service until you have a comment or a question or whatnot during the sharing portion. And if you want to be called on for comment or question, either get me through the chat section or raise your hand, or I think there's a little hand raise button somewhere that you can use. So I can call on you for your question or comment. Excuse me. I also want to mention before we get started that if you wish to make a donation, you can do that through the Church of the Angels website. You'll also have the opportunity to make that donation a recurring one if you choose. That's the way I do it, just because that way I don't have to remember anything and it just automatically comes out. And I want to give a big thank you to all who have donated to help keep us going through this time. A lot of you have been asking again lately, when are we going to get back together? When are we going to get back together? And I just want to remind you that the Board of Trustees, the intention is to reopen in September, but I'm not promising anything. We will see what happens, but that is our grand intention, is to see what things are going, what is going on in September, and we'll revisit that at that time. So please join me in an opening prayer. Mother, Father, Infinite Spirit, thank you for your blessings on those joining us today to honor your work and experience your grace and wisdom. Thank you for providing the appropriate thoughts, insights, actions, and all resources for us to gain a better and truer understanding of your love by the words spoken and the healing brought forth here today, so that we may lead healthy, happy, and prosperous lives. Thank you for showing us the way to accept responsibility for our lives, and we are grateful to know that you are with us always. So be it. Thank you. And now I've asked Reverend Cindy to read our statement of principles. If you could unmute yourself, please, Cindy.
All right, I am unmuted, right?
Yes, you are.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everybody. There is one creative force of which all life is a part. This one creative force is known by many names and manifestations. We recognize and honor the many names and manifestations of this one creative force, the source of all creation, one in God. The energy of life everywhere is continuous. All consciousness is continuous. Communication is continuous. The energy of life, consciousness, and communication never cease, even after the event that is perceived as death. One creates one's own reality. One creates in harmony with the one creative force, the great power of God, of which all life is a part. Reality is as one chooses to perceive and will change as one grows in knowledge of the inner self and one's relationship with the God of his understanding. All things are possible with faith, insight, knowledge, understanding, acceptance, and love. Love is the unifying energy of the universe. Love is the energy of the one creative force, the wisdom of God. All life and all mankind are one in the creatorship and healing force of love and with each other. Love is within us and of us. Love is never apart from us. It is we who separate ourselves from the power of love. The force of God works through love and love alone.
Thank you, Reverend Cindy. Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome.
I'd like to start, before we get into the major portion of our service, I'd like to start with a few moments of meditation so that we may concentrate on going within to find the peace and calm and healing for ourselves and for the world. Before I start that, before Bobby brings us a little meditation music, I wanted to read just a little something from Messages from the Masters from Brian Weiss. I don't know if it comes across backwards to you or not, I'm not sure. But it's a little piece called Letting Go of Insecurity. And after I read this, I want us to spend our quiet meditation time thinking about loving ourselves. Remember, the voice said, remember that you are always loved, you are always protected, and you are never alone. You also are a being of light, of wisdom, of love. You can never be forgotten. You can never be overlooked or ignored. You are not your body. You are not your brain. You are not even your mind. You are spirit. All you have to do is to reawaken to the memory to remember. Spirit has no limits, not the limit of the physical body, nor the reaches of the intellect or the mind. One of our greatest faults is our overwhelming concern about outcomes. We are preoccupied with results, and this preoccupation creates unnecessary anxiety, fear, and unhappiness. The anxiety is about our performance. What if it doesn't measure up? What if we fail? What will the others think? How harshly will we judge ourselves? The fear relates to the loss of the desired goal or object. If we fail, we are convinced we will not get what we want. We will be failures, losers. We will be rejected, and we will hate ourselves. Instead of worrying about specific outcomes and results, just do the right thing. Reach out unselfishly. Hope for the best. Hope is fine. Expectation is not. Because when expectation is present, disappointment is always lurking nearby. While meditating one morning, a very clear and distinct message appeared suddenly and powerfully in my mind. Love one another with all your hearts, and do not fear, do not hold back, for the more you give, the more returns to you. You yearn for the illusion of security instead of the security of wisdom and love. Okay, Bobby, if you would unmute yourself, dear. Thank you. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Take your time and come back to the present. And please remember that we are always connected to each other and to the divine. Use this peace and calm to take care of yourselves and each other. Thank you. Now, if you would please add silently or aloud the names of those you wish to include in this healing energy. Grandma Jean. Okay, all right, thank you. All right. Thank you, Bobby, for that meditation song. That was lovely. Thank you very much. And if you would please unmute yourself and give us a song that we can join along with, although I'll keep everybody on mute because I'm not sure how well we'll do.
Tried that before. It was interesting, right?
Yes, it was.
Give me a word and give me a sign. Show me where to look. Tell me what will I find? What will I find? Lay me on the ground and fly me in the sky. Show me where to look and tell me what will I find? What will I find? Yeah. 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 Whoa, whoa. Heaven, let your light shine down. Whoa, whoa. Heaven, let your light shine down. Whoa. Heaven, let your light shine down. Whoa, whoa. Heaven, let your light shine down. Love is in the water, love is in the air. Show me where to look, tell me, will love be there? Will love be there? I think it will be. Teach me how to speak and teach me how to share. Teach me where to go, tell me, will love be there? Yeah, love will be there, yeah. 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 Whoa, whoa. Heaven, let your light shine down. Whoa, whoa. Heaven, let your light shine down. Whoa. Heaven, let your light shine down. Whoa, whoa. Heaven, let your light shine down, yeah. Give me a word, give me a sign. Show me where to look, tell me what will I find? What will I find? Lay me on the ground, fly me in the sky. Show me where to look, tell me what will I find? What will I find? Yeah. Yeah. Whoa, whoa. Heaven, let your light shine down. Whoa, whoa. Heaven, let your light shine down and bless you. Whoa, let your light shine down. Whoa, whoa. Heaven, let your light shine down. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Every little light gonna shine on me. Yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah. Every little light gonna shine on me. Shine. Come on, shine it. Shine it. Shine. Come on and shine. It's shining.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yep, everybody's clapping. All right, cool beans. Our speaker today, it's now time, for inspiration and thought exchange brought to us by today's speaker. We do invite everyone to address the assembly with words of inspiration, lessons learned, or passionate ideas. And our speaker today is Carol Miller. And Carol, I realized I do not have a bio for you, but most of us know who you are.
Yeah.
And I am awfully glad you're speaking today. So I give you Carol Miller.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to turn the computer just a little bit. Today's talk is the New World Symphony, a love song to America. A few weeks ago, I was drawn to play Dvorak's New World Symphony on CD one Sunday afternoon. I'm sure some of you are familiar with it or will recognize it when you hear part of it. I am far, believe me, far from being well-versed in classical music, but it's one of the pieces I do know. I would put it somewhat in the same category as like Beethoven's Fifth, remember, and there was a disco version back in disco days, or Beethoven's Ode to Joy, which the hymnal is called Joyful, Joyful. You can find it on YouTube. The little piece that I'm going to play is from YouTube. Might be a little less familiar than Beethoven's symphonies, but not by much. Neil Armstrong took a copy of it on the Apollo 11 moon landing mission. So I'm going to play a little piece of the second movement, just because the second movement to me is the most tender part, filled with love and gentle feelings for our land. And the performance I'm going to play is a cello performance from YouTube. So let me get it up. We practiced that it should work. Can you? Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope the music was clear. You know, I've always heard that beautiful music like that comes directly from heaven. And I believe it. The Native American flutists sometimes say that they'll just play as create as they play, but they too say that it comes straight from heaven. So the New World Symphony was written in 1893. I hope I pronounce his name correctly. Antonin Leopold Dvorak, a Czech composer. Dvorak at that time was the director of the National Conservatory of Music in America. He was moved by the beauty of America, especially the wide open spaces. We still have them, even in my own backyard. I live above the Metro Park Golf Course. There's a wooded area, the river below. America's like that. We're big, we have open spaces. Europeans complain, and they're right, that Americans can usually only speak one language. But I think often the Europeans don't realize how big our land is. We can drive for days and days across the country, around the country, and never needing to speak another language. Where in Europe, a short drive might require another language. The symphony was motivated by the beauty of our land, not our republic, not our democracy. And I too will focus on that. But this 4th of July weekend, I think it's fitting for one reference to our democracy. I don't know how many of you know that my husband, Dale, holds an elected office. He's a Cuyahoga County councilman. If you want to know more about that, you can have to talk with him. Yes, he's a politician, but he's also a public servant trying to make life better for all of us. Now, I'm not like one of those political wives who practically lives their husband's career with them. However, I also say that it was no accident that I married a politician. We met while we were working together on a local proposition to support nuclear disarmament. I've always felt love and gratitude for our country, but who wouldn't? In fact, when I bought my first little house in Cleveland, I wanted to buy a house in Cleveland proper because it meant I could vote in a big Cleveland election that sets the tone for the whole area. We still live in Cleveland proper, just two houses later. Shortly after we were married, there was a hotly contested mayoral race. I remember the candidates, but I'm not even sure who I voted for. I didn't have a strong feeling. On election day morning, I'm talking like 6:30, Dale had already gone out very early to work the polls, passing out things. The home phone rang. This was pre-cell phone days. A voter called and said he had gone to his polling place, but it was not open yet, as it should have been. I said, okay, I would see what I could do. Honestly, I thought, who am I? I'm just a councilman's wife. Dale was a city councilman at the time. But I knew it had come to me in this small instance to help keep the election honest and fair. There were concerns about this election, about voting fairness. I called the Board of Elections early that morning and reported the problem. Was well received by the Board of Elections. They took the call, appreciated the information. I think several more calls came in that morning, and on other election day mornings. I do my part with the calls. So that's my comment on our democracy this morning. Just the importance of everyone having the right and ability to vote and having their vote counted fairly. Okay, now back to Dvorak. Dvorak was inspired by the beauty of America. He was inspired by American Negro melodies, African American spirituals, Native American flute. Wouldn't it be beautiful to hear this piece on a Native American flute? And Bohemian rhythms and Slavic dances. He was also influenced by Longfellow's epic poem, Hiawatha. Probably many of you have driven through Hiawatha National Forest in Michigan. It's not that far away. I find the time frame that it was written, I guess I should say composed, also very interesting as a spiritualist. The year is 1893, right as spiritualism is growing. But in fact, the land on which Lilydale stands was first incorporated as a place for free thinkers and spiritualists in 1879. After several transitions of names, it became Lilydale in 1906. This was during the same era when Dvorak served as director of the National Conservatory of Music, which was 1892 to 1895. Spiritualists of that era were drawn to the same interests and peoples as Dvorak. If you spend much time in Lilydale, you'll see the name Andrew Jackson Davis. I think the Lyceum, the educational building, is named after him. In 1847, Andrew Jackson Davis wrote The Principles of Nature, her revelations. Even today at Lilydale, you will still hear about adherence to natural law. Nature and its laws are important. What we do have natural consequences. Many early spiritualists were abolitionists, but not all abolitionists totally welcomed the spiritualists and wanted to distance themselves from the spiritualists for the usual reasons. I guess maybe just a little too weird. Let's see. Also, spiritualists of that era recognized the mistreatment of Native Americans. I found this on Google regarding an early spiritualist, Catherine Troy, about the study of Indian ghosts and seances. Here, this is a quote. Undoubtedly, on some level, spiritualists recognized Indian spectras that appeared at seances as a symbol of the sins and guilt of the United States dealings with the Native Americans. I just love the old-timey wording. Spiritualism was richly involved in the thinking in the era of the composition of this symphony. So let's go back to the thought of our own enjoyment of the New World Symphony and our enjoyment of the land around us. I have mentioned that we are fortunate to live with a lovely backyard overlooking open space. That is where I sat as I wrote this talk over the past 2 days. At times, I feel like I can still see the Native Americans in their moccasins walking softly on the land that we live on. That's how Native Americans would put it. It's very nice land. It has a really good feel. At one time, it had been part of an amusement park, Purita Springs Park. That's gone, and the land is quiet again. And I would say the land is happy. Not that I think the land was unhappy with an amusement park. When we first moved into the property 5 years ago, I would think it is beautiful and I love it. However, I needed to be a part of it, not just look and appreciate it. After several years, the wisdom came to me that I am part of it. I can be part of it anytime I want. I am much more than just an observer. I am part of the land, part of the grass, part of the sky, and I thank my guides and angels for this wisdom. It sort of reminds me of the chant, the Sanskrit chant. I guess it's a yoga chant I guess it first became popular in 1973. We still use it sometimes for family dinners. Kids love it. We bring out the drum. And we've used it for the summer solstice celebrations. Well, you're gonna have to hear me chant a tiny bit so you remember it. Rama da sa se so hung. And you can find this on YouTube also, lots of versions of it, or people chanting it. The translation is Ra, sun energy, Ma, moon energy, Da, earth energy, Sa, infinity, universal energy, and Sa is repeated, the universal energy. Say, the personal embodiment of Sa, the universal energy of infinity. And so the personal sense of merger with Sa, merger with the universal energy, and Hum, the infinite, vibrating, and real. The mantra literally means I am thou, or put another way, the service of God is within me. So have a wonderful summer. Some people say 4th of July is America's summer solstice festival. Enjoy your summer, despite all that's going on, and we know there's a lot going on. The sky is still just as blue, the breeze just as gentle and sweet, and the grass just as green. Be part of it as we do our little part. God bless you, stay safe, enjoy your summer. And
Thank you so much, Carol. Yes, thank you so much. That was absolutely wonderful. And I'm definitely going to look up, I hope you see everybody clapping. I am definitely going to look that up and see that chant. Yeah, it's something that I think that I could definitely benefit from and use. So I'm going to open it up for comments and questions. So I'm looking for raised hands and or chats here. Let's see. Oh, Cindy Hudson, I have unmuted it. Go ahead, Cindy.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Carol, thank you so much for that talk. Wasn't quite sure where you were going with the music and then Lilydale and pulling it all together in just just a celebration of this gorgeous day, the freedoms that we have, and bringing it back to what's simple. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for touching base on all of those things. Beautiful music too. So thank you again.
Okay, thank you, Reverend Cindy. All right, I'm looking for, I know that other people have comments here. Let me pop to the other page here and see if I see anybody else. Wow, this is a quiet group today. Oh my goodness. Okay, from Shannon, yes, thank you so much. Beautifully said. Thank you so much, Shannon, for that comment. And who else here? Oh, Judy. Yeah, you'll have to unmute yourself, Judy. I can't do it from here. There you go. Thank you.
I had my hand raised on the thing. I clicked the thing. So that you couldn't
Of course, I see it now, Judy. Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to my life. It's okay. I really thank you for that, because, you know, we can forget so easily when we hear all this chatter noise going on around us, and we actually identify with it when it has the truth of nothing, really, of who we are, what matters. And so just the lightness and the touching of the beauty that's still here, all the joy and the nature that's supporting us right now, especially in full blossom. And I've noticed myself, I've actually withdrawn from it instead of gotten into it, feeling that contraction. So I appreciate that reminder, because a very brief time in nature can transform a lot. And then I normally would be up this time of year on an Indian reservation for a family reunion, because that's where we go every year in Washington State, to the mountains. So as I heard you speak of the reverence that the most cultures have taught us for nature, and the bounty of it in every way, I really appreciate that also, that connection.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you. Shannon, is it okay? I'll mention what you said, Shannon, to everybody. Carol, you've rejuvenated my love for America the Beautiful. That's nice. Thank you. Okay. Oh, Lydia.
Okay, I was saying Anne Marie wanted to talk, but I'll just say this.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed Carol sharing a little bit of part of her life, and to bring the awareness of how wonderful place we are living in America, and the beauty of it. And I just really enjoyed hearing from her today. It was just awesome, Carol. I really love you, Carol. I really do. And but I just wanted to say that Anne Marie had a question. I want to say something.
All right, okay. Cool. All right, go ahead, Anne Marie.
Thank you, Carol, by the way. That was wonderful. When you played that piece by Dvorak, I recognized a song that is called Going Home. I don't know if that was taken by the same melody.
Might be. I don't know.
It just made me think of that. I'm not sure if it's, I can hear the lyrics in my head with that same melody. I wasn't sure about that, but it was a beautiful piece. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment, Anne Marie. Okay, I'm going to give it one. Sue, go ahead and unmute. Did you have your hand up, Sue?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
What she was just talking about, where the music came from. Carol did say that I was inspired by the slaves that were here in the fields, so that the coming home part is when they get to leave the cotton fields or whatever fields they're working on and go to a new home, to the rest of the land that is theirs. So yes, it was inspired by that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to give it one last look. Let me see. Both pages. I think I'm clear. If I'm not, somebody holler at me through chat. Okay, so a couple announcements. The speaker next week is Judy Nairn, and since I surprised her today because I didn't confirm with her, I'm not sure what our topic will be, but Judy will be here next week. And tomorrow is Development Circle is canceled for tomorrow. They will be back on the 20th. So there is no Development Circle tomorrow. Meditation this Wednesday at 7 with Reverend Renee Roth, and the Zoom instructions are on the Facebook. Wow, do I sound old? On the Facebook. Yeah. Anyway, that's this Wednesday. And this Thursday, there is an evening thought exchange at 7 p.m. as well that everybody is open to the public. I don't have a topic for that, so we'll just pop in for that and see what topics emerge. I just wanted to let everybody know, although you've probably figured it out, the updated email from Zoom today, I was just adding dates. Nothing has changed about how you get in or anything. I was just adding more dates through August into September, just to add those. And are there any announcements from the floor? What did I forget? Anything? Ileana, go ahead and unmute, please.
So Andrea and the Ascended Masters is this Tuesday.
This Tuesday, correct. And she has her own Zoom invitation and stuff to get in there, but that's this Tuesday instead of today, correct? Yes, thank you. Thank you for that, Ileana. Yep. All right, any other announcements from the floor? Let me check both pages. La, 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 la. No, I think that's it. I also want to mention, I see some new faces or some new names that I'm not aware of, so welcome. Welcome to everybody. And now we'll move into a little bit of message work. As spiritualists, we believe that the energy of all beings is forever linked, that all have direct access to the love, guidance of loved ones, guides, teachers, saints, and angels on the other side. We do have mediums here who have joined us today who have agreed to be of service, and some who might not have agreed, but I'll probably ask anyway, but feel free to say no, to connect with Spirit and bring forth a few messages. First, I would like to call on Reverend Joey Wantz. If you would unmute and start us off, Joey, that would be great.
Okay. I have a message for Shannon. Would you like a message, Shannon?
She's on yes, go for it. Okay.
Okay, Shannon, what I have for you is I'm being shown that an opportunity is going to present itself to you in the near future, and you're getting all excited about it and you're ready to jump in with both feet, but Spirit wants you to like hit the pause button and look into the opportunity a little bit deeper below the surface, because all is not going to be what it seems to be. So proceed with caution, okay? And I leave you that message with love.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, and Anne Marie, would you like a message?
Yes, please.
Okay, your husband is here, and he's telling me that he sits with you outside, and he smiles because he knows how much that beauty pleases you. And he's saying to me, but she always found pleasure in the simplest of things, and that's what I loved about her. That you never needed to be have like a lot of stuff to make you happy. You were just happy with life and all the wonderful things that just come with living. And he just wants you to know that he's very happy to see you finding joy again, and to know that he's just there enjoying you, enjoying life. And I leave that with you with his love.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I think I'm out of messages, Jenny.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Reverend
You're
Joey.
welcome.
Reverend Cindy Hudson, would you give us a few messages?
Okay, there we go. Thank you for the warning, by the way, that there was going to be some mystery message workers here this morning. Oh, Lori Holler, would you like a message this morning?
Yes, please.
Hi, good morning, Lori. Hi. I feel like there's a woman who steps in with you, and her energy is like a sister. I don't know if it's a biological sister or it was a dear friend who was like a sister to you. I don't know if you would recognize this energy, but there is somebody on the other side of life or in spirit that that is connecting in with you this morning. And, you know, she's wanting you to pull in the reins a little bit, saying it's kind of gotten like escalated, like, you know, things kind of get busy and snowball. and you pull in the reins and you get back to some basics, it's like the stuff that snowballed and could seem overwhelming becomes less overwhelming because, you know, because you're not chasing your tail anymore. It's not escalating. So she's inviting you to consider pulling in the reins a little bit, slowing down a little bit, simplifying the schedule. Okay, she's showing me kind of like a packed calendar. So, you know, and I know that we're isolated and all that kind of stuff, but there still is a lot of things that you have on the burners that you'd like to do, and it can be overwhelming. And so to not take it to that extent, she's wanting you to pull in the reins, keep to what's simple. The stuff that has to get done is going to get done, and the other stuff, all in its time, will fall into place. She doesn't want you to feel overwhelmed or get buried with all of this kind of stuff. And I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, but she is just inviting you to simplify. That's the key word for today. And she's pulling back her energy, so I'm going to leave that with you, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. And let's see, Elena Hill, I don't know if you can hear me. I see your name, and I know that you're muted, but would you like a message this morning? Your video was not on either.
Yeah.
So. Okay, good morning. Hi.
Hi.
Elena, they're showing me that you're considering taking on a new project or a new venture.
Yeah.
Maybe some new learning. And I feel like it's going to be a very positive thing for you. But I feel like, you know, if you're looking at like one direction or one course, you might want to look 5 degrees to one side or the other, because there's something along those lines that's through the same system or schooling type of thing. But there is something slightly different that's going to even resonate more for you. So yes, go ahead. Yes, start. It's going to be good. But keep your eyes open to all of the learning opportunities that this program, I guess I'm going to say, is going to present for you, because there may be some things that you thought, oh, I want to go and I want to learn A, B, and C, but really you're there to learn, you know, C and D kind of thing, okay? So there may be some surprise learnings for you with that. Also, they're saying not to be, that the finances, you don't know how, you don't know where, but you do know to trust. So they're reminding you to trust, because it's going to work out for you, okay?
Oh, awesome. Yeah, we did have some good news with finances lately, and
yeah,
you know, so I think it's going to get better.
And yeah, they're telling me to remind you to just keep trusting. Just keep trusting. You need to make smart decisions, but just keep trusting. Okay?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Lead that with Spirit's blessings. And Reverend Jenny, I thank you for the opportunity to serve.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Reverend Vicki Jones, would you serve Spirit, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Liz, would you like a message? Liz? Is she there?
There she is.
I'm
sure. Have unmuted her.
Yes,
Go ahead.
thank you. Liz, I'm feeling spirit guides coming in for you to help you with your work. You're going to be getting some new jobs with research. I'm hearing research, and you need to call on them to help you over the hump. They call it getting over the hump, and they'll show you where the right information is. Just ask for them to come in, and Archangel Michael is with you today too. And I'll leave that with you. With Spirit's blessing.
Thank you.
The Dr. Ileana, would you like a message? Okay, I'm behind you. I'm seeing numerous soldiers, and they feel like they're Spanish, or they're dressed like knights and stuff, and they're there to help you at work, because you feel overwhelmed sometimes, and they're there to lift off some of the burden and to protect you from the things that are coming at you, and they get rid of it. They say they're getting rid of it for you. And you've called on some higher realms, they're saying, and they hear you, and I'll leave that with you. Okay, and one more. Lydia, would you like a message?
Yes, I would. Thank you.
Spirit's coming in, especially on your father's side for you today. And what he's telling me is, on that side of the family, they're coming in and they're saying that you've taken on too many projects. You need to focus on the ones that you really like. Because if you take too many, your energy is going to be spread all over the place. So there's one thing that you need to concentrate on and be really good at. And your father's side's coming in to help you with that. And I'll leave that with you, with Spirit's blessings. Thank you for letting me serve.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Vicki. I have one, and I can't decide whether it is, it's one of two people, and so I'm going to give it to both of you if you so want to accept. I am looking at Samantha Jones. Would you like to receive a message? Okay, and also Cynthia Panessa. I don't know if I'm saying that correct. Would you like a message? All right, I'm not sure, but I'm going to go ahead. Okay, so I'm not sure. Like I said, I believe that Spirit is telling me that I need to speak, but that this will apply to both of you. But I have a young man in Spirit here. He looks to be a very young teenager, and he does seem to be someone that either you and I don't know how this is possible, but you know, that you either both know or that is a family member. He's coming through as a family member, and the message is still for both of you. And it's far back, and I believe on the father's side of the house. Anyway, what he's talking about is there is some new learning coming through on a metaphysical, with a metaphysical tilt, whether you're looking at learning more about healing or doing mediumship or, you know, that kind of thing. There's some learning that he is very interested in as well. And he's going to be, he says he's going to help you both. He's going to be one of the people that you are easily connected with, whether you have it figured out yet or not, but easily connected with to assist you with this new learning. And I believe it's more toward the mediumship, more towards connection. And so he's going to be kind of one of your go-betweens that will help you as you get started with this. So I want to leave that with both of you with much love and blessings. And he's not giving me a name. I don't believe you would know who he was anyway, but he is definitely hyper preteen, jumping up and down, but he looks like a few generations back. You know, he's dressed a few generations back, but he's very, very eager to help you guys get started and learn more about connecting, and not necessarily that you want to do this for a business or do this, you know, outright, but so that you can use it in your own life. Okay. All right. So I'll leave that with you both with many blessings. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Jenny.
You're welcome. All right. Thank you, everybody, for your kind attention. Is there anybody who has a message that they need to get out that I didn't call on? I don't think so. I think we're good. Okay. All right. Oh, Reverend Cindy. Yes.
Go. I'm sorry. I know I already said I was done, and yet.
That's okay.
Because as I'm sitting here and somebody brought up soldiers, and to my, whatever, out in my yard, there's a strong presence of Civil War young men. And the reason that they're appearing is because they're bringing through the information that in their time, it seemed like the world was nothing but chaos, and the North and the South, and families being divided, and brothers fighting each other, and incredible strife and conflict. And they're bringing through the message that time rolls on and everything is impermanent, including that extreme strife that they went through, so that those of us who are feeling angst with all the areas of conflict we might have in our lives, they're bringing through not even so much reassurance as much as it is the reality of time is going to go forward and things will settle down and resolve. And our mission is, their mission was to stay soldiers and stay true to their jobs as soldiers. Our mission as soldiers for peace, they're saying, would be to stay in that light, to stay centered and stay grounded, and not to try to get caught up in all that angst, because we know it's going to go forward and pass. And so they're wanting you to know that we need to stay centered with where we're at. And I appreciate everybody's attention for that message. Thank you, Reverend Jenny.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. And thank you to the soldiers as well. I think it's a very important message for all of us. Yes, thank you. All right. So thank you, everybody, again. Oops, I'm backing up. Shannon, go ahead.
Thank you. I do have a message that's coming through. And
yes, go ahead.
You're like, I need to come through. Carol Miller. Can you hear
Yes.
me okay?
Yes, thank you.
Um, I have a guide coming through, a spirit guide, who's Native American Indian. She's female and she's very strong with you. She'll help you with this talk. She is just coming through very strongly and just really wants to reiterate that you moving slow like you do, there's a purpose for it. And if those around you can't appreciate that, your attention to your detail and doing things carefully and doing things slowly and making decisions, that's one of your gifts. It's a gift. And if people around you can't respect that, that's their thing, not yours. And she just wants to come through with that because that's been an ongoing issue, and that you are to embrace that as a gift. And it's very, there's just this calmness around you, and it's a beautiful thing. And you need to remember that and not listen to those people saying you need to speed up a little bit. Okay, she's really coming through with that, and she's helping you with this because she's got a sense of humor. She too was slow in regards to making decisions, and it's ironic because she keeps saying she's a tortoise, and her name in Native American Indian was, I'm getting Torty something, and that was her nickname because she moved like a tortoise. She was but she's very wise. She wants you to hear that. Wise like the tortoise. I want to leave that with you, Carol. I hope that helps.
It does. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for letting me serve.
Not a problem. Thank you so much, Shannon. All right, I'm going to try this one more time. Thank you for your kind attention, for everybody's kind attention. Thank you to all participants and mediums, and especially the Spirit and the God of your understanding for being with us today and always. For those who might be new with us today, you can learn more about the Church of the Angels at the website, which is www.thechurchoftheangels.net. And so I'm going to ask Reverend Bobby to give us a closing song, and then I will close with a closing prayer.
Okay. Well, the closing song I'm choosing is one where I get to touch into that God spark into each and every one of you. Yeah, I see you all. And, you know, we got a lot of diligence that we have to do in our lives with what's going on right now, staying safe, staying, you know, helping things out. But, you know, here's one of the things that I get to do is appreciate, like in the talk, you know, that was wonderful, Carol. A moment that we get to observe. Oh Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hand has made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my loving God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my loving God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. When through the woods and forest forest glades I wander and hear the birds swing sweetly in the trees. When I look down from lofty mountain grandeur and see the brook and feel the gentle breeze, then sings my soul, my loving God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my loving God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art, how great thou art, how great thou art. Go ahead, Jen.
In closing, let us pray. Infinite Spirit, Mother, Father God, as we move forward, we thank you in advance for the guidance and resources you always provide for us to live the fullest expression of your love. We pray for all those affected by the circumstances throughout our world at this time. May we be reminded of the opportunities to reconnect in love to all those around the world, Mother Earth, and the universe. Amen. Thank you. Well, I'm trying to stop the record. There we go.